Hey y'all, Dekumon here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. What am I doing right now? Why, I'm practicing the Manderville Mambo, of course. The lovely reward I picked up for slogging through all of the Manderville quests in Stormblood. Alright, well, that's enough of that. Anyway, as you can imagine, last time in the main story, the Scions are in trouble. I mean, what else is new, but seriously, their souls are missing. Like right now, Ishtola, Thancred, and Uranger are all in that room over there, you know, soulless. What the hell are we gonna do about this? Of course, Alphino's missing too, so maybe his soul got sucked out in the meantime. Alice, we gotta do us some soul searching.
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news.
Of course not.
After you left, we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments. But the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring. Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Urianger and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle.
That's probably why.
And Alphino's still missing. God, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
Maybe we start trying to find Alphino.
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
Krile? I think that's Kryle's voice. Yep.
Krile! I did not think you well enough to travel.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow Scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised we didn't call on you earlier.
Yes, I should have thought of that. Thank you for coming, Krile. We would welcome your insight.
And I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas. Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the Studium?
No. Tell me all about it.
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
Wow. Wow, that's arrogant.
That particular grand pronouncement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly.
Yes, he remains altruistic to a fault, but I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened, thanks to a certain someone.
Aw, you're talking about me.
A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh?
My goodness.
Right, I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me.
Well, hopefully she can tell us something the others weren't able to. And now we just sit and wait. Right? Come on, we gotta do something. Can't just sit here on our butts.
All three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep.
But...
except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
okay, again, we knew this already.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes?
Mm-hmm.
If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place, then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
Yeah, but wouldn't that mean one of us has to get taken again? Not too fond of that.
I wasn't around for that, but I can't imagine it was easy.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So I suggest we pay her a visit.
Oh wow, there's a face we haven't seen in a while. Matoya? She's gonna be the cranky old lady that I always remember. It takes forever to get to this area. I'd heard Master Matoya was something of a recluse, but this seems extreme. Still, I'll happily overlook her eccentricities if she agrees to help us. That's a big if. Matoya is tough to deal with. Doubly so without a Stola here. Knock knock. I mean, Krile maybe can keep her calm.
Come to disturb my peace again, have you? I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems.
Damn.
Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name, but I see now you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
Yeah, well, she ain't got much to be happy about right now.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
Ha! That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders.
Bum.
Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
Yep, and now we get to fade out and explain the whole situation of the Scions getting their souls sucked out and us having to follow them.
And Stoller is one of the afflicted, is she?
Mm-hmm.
Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
Well, I suppose that's one good reason to help out. Kind of a crotchety one, but hey. Par for the course for Matoya. Still can't get over that stick is basically an outstretched arm.
Right. Let us see what we can see.
Hopefully.
I'll begin from where our friends first fell and cast my senses out from there.
Hopefully we can find what we're looking for. Come on. Please let this work. We've got to find the rest of the Scions. Either that or this is going to attract whatever's been yoinking them. That's not a good sign.
What is it? Did you find them?
Wait, this doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
Hmm?
How is what possible? Krile, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Shit.
Could their ether have dissipated if it had? Oh gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the Broodmother's daughter all over again.
Great.
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi effected her resurrection.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
Yeah, but it's somewhere we can't follow with the crystal eye.
But where?
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
So now what? I'm still waiting for us to get yanked again.
We're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there is progress of a sort. We just have to keep looking. Pray, excuse me a moment.
Hey? Who's ringing us up at this point?
Yes? I remember, but... What, to Alamigo? We're on our way.
Eh?
That was Lee's. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Alamigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them.
What?
I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
But this is a lead to Alphino most likely, so yeah, go, 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 go.
Go, child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
Don't worry, I'm sure Krile will stay here and keep looking.
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Let's be off then.
Let's.
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
The ethereal thinning. God, it's happening here too, isn't it?
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes on a thinning of the ether. It seems to be happening all over.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac.
Eh, don't worry about Alexander. He's basically time-locked himself into oblivion.
I fear something has gone wrong. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting at Shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm. Man, we're just trying to race to 600, aren't we? Oh, first quest done.
So that was the woman who tamed Y'shtola. I had the distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me.
I'm pretty sure Matoya did that to Y'shtola at least once. Probably several times.
When Alphino is back, I'd like to visit again and ask her what tales she has of Grandfather.
Oh, the tale she could tell. The Defectors' Tidings. Ah, this must be Maximus that we're talking about.
I almost can't bear to hear what Maxima has to tell us. But it can't be bad news, can it? Lys would have said. And there's no point speculating. Lys said she's notified the guards of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gate at the Alamigan Quarter. I'll be praying for good news. Learn what you can about Alphino's plight, and leave the search for our friends' lost souls to me.
Hopefully Krile can turn something up. While we go figure out where Alphino has been this whole time. Alamigo. Off we go. Well, we got a whole group of them. But, I don't see Alphino, and I don't see the Shadowhunter either. Or any of the guys that the Shadowhunter was with.
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphino, I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, we meet again. Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's true.
What happened to my brother? Where is Alphino?
Ooh, easy girl, put the fangs away.
Never fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
You assume?
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain events.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard and forced to make an emergency landing. As we stumbled from the wreckage, our attackers fell upon us again, and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries whose leader claimed to pursue a vendetta against the Ascians.
Well, he definitely had the masks to show for it.
This Shadowhunter, as he styled himself, then escorted us out of the wastes to relative safety.
Minus Alphino.
Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Populares colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire. Master Alphino, however, declined the invitation to join us, preferring to continue his investigation into the Ascian threat.
Yeah, that sounds like Alphino.
Well, at least he's not lying in a heap in the burn.
Yeah, no kidding.
Tell us more about these Ascian hunters. Who are they? And is Alphino still with them?
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. Beyond the fact that they root out and destroy Ascians, they were unwilling to divulge anything which might serve to identify them. They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphino asked to accompany them all the same. Since parting company with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's Guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went, until we finally arrived here in Alamigo. I cannot thank Commander Aldin enough for giving us such an unexpectedly warm welcome.
Well, you probably told him, you wanted to defect, and Raubon is nothing if not pragmatic.
I'm not inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home. And if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you. During the course of our journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single night.
Damn. Xenos?
It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner, and chose instead to bring a formidable new weapon to bear.
Oh.
Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames of rebellion.
That chemical weapon, Black Rose.
I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward. It is my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing for a large-scale military engagement.
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Alamigo?
Again?
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be so soon.
We've barely even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
Well, time to call out the rest of the Alliance and make a big old stand.
No, they won't. Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and send word to our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head on!
Still gonna do our damnedest.
No matter how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with their commander, and see that the ensuing proceedings take as long as possible.
So stall them.
Would you and Alize head to Doma and let Lord Hier know about this? I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphino too.
Mm-hmm.
Consider it done. We'll send word when...
Uh-oh. No. No! Not again! The moment I saw the sentence come out.
Sorrow must be changed.
Shit. Yeah, Lisa's unaffected.
Ahead looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
God dang it.
You heard it too.
Yeah, but it didn't take either of us this time.
Well, At least we're both still standing.
Oh, thank the gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
I don't know.
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
Should probably put a link protocol into Krile or, you know, someone just to make sure no other Scions collapsed on us. Well, that was fun. Great, so we're still being called. Although thankfully this time nobody dropped.
So, Alvinhole is safe, for the present at least. Now all we need to do is worry about a full-scale Imperial invasion. I'm actually glad Leash tasked us with visiting Lord Hien. Better to be dashing from place to place than sitting around stewing over things we can't change. To the Enclave.
To the Enclave. Well, well, well. It seems I've walked in the middle of one serious set of negotiations. Look at all the people here. Dalmascan, Noxian, Siren is here. We got a guy from the Kojin. Man, it is a party in here, Hien, and you are the guest of honor. Well, rather, you're the host. Well, hopefully it seems their version of the Alliance is going well. Greetings, my friends. I was just discussing future endeavors with the members of our newly formed alliance. Seems to be going well.
The Kojin and the Confederacy you already know, and it was your own strength of arms that won us the cooperation of the steppe tribes. We've also been joined by our neighbors from Nangxia and the indomitable citizens of Dalmasca, though the scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay their official induction. These proud peoples have united under a single purpose, to stand against the tyranny of the Guardian Empire. I'm glad to see your alliance is coming together so swiftly. As things stand, I fear we shall soon have need of your strength.
Yep, things are coming to head with the Garleans. And there's the military music.
I thank you for bringing me news of Alphino. His fate is never far from my thoughts, and not only because he is our emissary. As to this sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree that Alabigo would be wise to shore up its borders with all haste. Every report we receive from our shinobi indicates a massing of troops in the western provinces. It seems all but certain that the Empire is poised to bring its fist down upon Eorzea.
Lovely.
And I would help deflect that bow, but I cannot risk sending reinforcements just yet. We will remain vulnerable to airborne assault until our wall in the burn is in place.
How's that going, by the way?
The all-important Adigan energy barrier, I remember. The energy barrier, yes. I thought to call it something more auspicious. A name drawn from the four lords of legend, perhaps. Sirius Aegis or some such. Well, just a thought.
I'm sure Saria would be thrilled.
The Ironworks engineers report that they have finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed to the testing stage.
Ooh, can we watch?
Have you the time to attend the first test? You've seen the field which protected Azistar firsthand, and I would be interested to hear how you think ours compares.
I guess we got time.
I will come too if you don't mind. Though I am no Ishtola, I may be able to offer some insight. Of course. Time being of the essence, it would be best if we made directly for the burn. Yugiri, I leave you and Hakuro to bring the War Council to a close. Understood. Your mounts are saddled and ready, my lord. Wear the storms.
Well, let's see if this barrier is worth all the effort we put into getting it working. Well, I hope so, because otherwise I would be very irritated. Sirius Wall.
We will cross the burn by Yol and Falcon as before. Join me at the overlook near the House of the Fierce.
That we can do. Boy, we are just going all over for this set of quests, aren't we? Here we are again, getting ready to head to the burn.
Give the word when you're ready to take wing.
Oh, I'm ready. I see our boys at Garland Ironworks have been busy. That looks more like anti-aircraft weaponry than a shield generator, but hey, what do I know about Allegan tech?
It seems the engineers have matters well in hand. Should the barrier work as we intend, Doma will be free to reinforce her allies in Alamigo without fear of weakening her own borders.
That'll be really useful.
Honored friends, the time has come to put your hard work to the test. Start the generator.
And duck and cover, just in case. That's a good sign. Come on, baby, work. Work. You've got these things all over the place. Oh dear. Oh. Oh.
Node 1 is operational. Nodes 2 to 8 are reporting similar energy levels. The barrier is forming.
Oh, it's working. It's working. Yep. That looks just like the barrier from
1,000 yards. 2,000. 3,000. Expansion remains smooth. No fluctuations detected.
Damn. The Great Wall of Doma.
4,000. 5,000. Target altitude reached. The barrier is holding steady at 5,000 yards. We've done it.
And even better, it's invisible, so the first ship's through, oh, they're gonna have a rude-ass awakening. Well done, guys. Well done. Uh-oh. No!
Is that an Imperial airship? Of all the rotten timing.
But this is a gift, Mistress Alize. They can test our new wall for us.
Buddy, you better watch where you're flying. Not quite the bug on the windshield effect I was hoping for, but...
Seems solid enough. Though I was hoping for a fireball.
Jeez, he's the same mind I was. So it just grounds the thing instead of blowing it to hell. Oh. Okay, maybe I'm glad it didn't blow up. Oh, I'm very glad it didn't blow up.
By the gods. It's Alphino.
Wall's still
What
up.
are you? Let me go! He has my brother!
Lower the barrier.
Need to find a way to put a door in this thing. I mean, at least we know it works.
Be at ease, girl. The lad is not dead, merely locked in slumber.
Oh no. Someone did get taken in the last little trip. Alphino.
No, not him too.
Great. So Alice and I are the only ones that have heard the call and not gotten taken.
We could identify no cause and found no remedy. Thus I sought to return him to Doma, and into the arms of Lord Hien himself, it would seem. It is a day for fated reunions. Would you not agree, adventurer? Or should I address you as the Warrior of Light?
Okay. Oh shit. Gaius? No. He's Gaius? How the hell did did you survive the ultimate weapon exploding in your face?
I, Gaius van Baelsar, the Black Wolf. That was the title I was given. One I have long since relinquished.
Well, damn! You look good for being a dead man.
Stand down. The legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion died in Castrum Meridianum. I am no more than Gaius Baelsar, a man without rank or allegiance.
Wow. That explosion must have hit you harder than I thought if it knocked out your allegiance to the Empire.
Impossible. There's no way you could have survived.
Do you remember how it unfolded?
Mostly.
How I was deceived by La Habrea? How I was convinced that reviving the Ultima weapon would allow me to bring peace to Eorzea?
Yeah, I also remember you being inside the thing when it exploded.
The Ascian used me, as he used so many others, all to further the restoration of his wretched god. Yet even with the might of Alec at my command, you bested me. And as the Praetorium went up in flames, I was content to burn along with it. For a moment at least. A moment of folly. To surrender my life thus would have been to betray all who died for my cause. It was for them that I dragged myself free of the rubble, and swore vengeance on the Ascians.
And found La Habrea's mask after I finished, expelling him from Thancred. That's how I recognized you.
The Black Wolf has shed his pelt, never to return to Garlemald or her legions. I live now only to exact revenge. My principal quarry was to be La Habrea, whom I gather you have since ushered unto oblivion.
Uh-huh. Did that in Heavensward.
But so many more remain. Long as their kind lurked in the shadows, laboring to sow chaos throughout our world, I would see each and every one dragged into the light and put to the sword.
Yeah, we're gonna need more than swords, but...
Are the Scions not of like mind?
In this single respect, perhaps.
Then I shall continue the partnership the boy began, and share what intelligence I have acquired.
Oh. That's nice of you.
Among the Ascians, the Black-Masked Ilk are subordinate to those who wear red. This you already know.
Mm-hmm.
Yet among the red there exists a hierarchy. Those set adrift with the shards clearly stand below those still joined to the source. Nabriales, who once dared to intrude upon the Rising Stones, belonged to the former group, and while he was indeed a dangerous foe, his powers were inconsequential next to the paragons of the Source.
Of course, he was a small fry.
The first was La Habrea, who plagues us no more. There is also the white-robed Elidibus, and the elusive Emmet Selk, about whom little is known.
Well, we know where Elidibus is. He's inside Xenos right now, but Emmet Selk? Haven't heard that name yet.
We have files on La Habrea and Elidibus, but I believe this Emmet Selk is new to us?
Mm-hmm.
As I assume my brother told you, we have evidence to suggest that an Ascian now walks in the body of the Crown Prince. Have you identified this interloper?
Elidibus seems the most likely culprit. As emissary, it is his role to maintain the equilibrium between darkness and light.
Equilibrium? Definitely doesn't seem like what he's doing right now.
Your many deeds in Hydaelyn's name have upset the balance, and I believe he seeks to restore it by throwing his considerable power behind the Empire. As a leader of the Ascians, he is one of our primary targets. It was on the trail of this very prey that the boy and I came across the scene of a failed uprising. In the absence of a single Garlean casualty, we inspected the bodies of the rebels, and the lack of any external injury drew my immediate attention. They had been slain by Black Rose, an alchemical invention of the Imperial Army. When I yet served as legatus, I ordered its production halted and all stockpiles destroyed. Toxic gas is not a tool of conquest, but of extermination.
Exactly.
Toxic gas? This must be the new weapon Maxima warned us about. Something deadly enough to sweep away all resistance in a matter of hours.
Yeah, it's definitely a case of nobody able to resist when nobody's left alive.
Gods. You don't think they're planning to use this in Alamigo, do you?
That's a good thought.
Put your fears to rest. We infiltrated the production facility and destroyed all existing stores of the chemical along with the plant itself. Even should they rebuild the operation, they will not soon manufacture another batch.
Good.
Regardless, I would draw your attention to a directive we discovered in the plant's records. The document was marked with a recent date and authorized with the signature of one Zeno C.A. Galvas.
Damn it. What is it?
A dead man signing the death warrant for thousands. 'Tis bad comedy.
But the tale does not end there. Within that same facility was a chamber filled with devices of elegant design. Cloning technology, we realized.
Cloning? Who were they cloning?
And what should we find in each and every incubator? But a young Emperor Solus.
The body. The body that Ascian's inhabiting is a bunch of clones.
All of which prompts the question, were the Ascians responsible for these abominations? Or was it the will of the Emperor?
Well, I hate to say it, but it's kind of a case of one and the same.
I must know which hand guides the Empire. Though I have given up my rank, I am yet a son of Garlemald, and I will fight for the future of my homeland.
Understandable.
It is time I return to the hunting of shadows. We should focus on our common foe. To reopen old quarrels now would serve no purpose.
That would be a good idea.
You saved my brother's life, so I'm willing to let sleeping dogs lie. But in truth, it's not my decision to make.
Oh. Oh, you're gonna leave this to me? You're right. There are more important matters at hand. We'll settle this another time. Yeah, no. I harbor minimal ill will to the Black Wolf. He paid his price. So, I'm willing to bury the hatchet.
There was a time when I scorned those who placed their faith in false gods. Even as I, in my blinkered conviction, place mine in Ascian promises. Unlike yours, my strength of will and my restraint was found wanting. We shall meet again, warrior of light.
Oh boy. Well, that was moderately awkward.
So that was the infamous Black Wolf. An unexpected ally, to say the least.
Uh-huh. Alright, time to put the barrier back up.
Well, I am content to leave the fine-tuning of the barrier to cleverer minds. Let us bid our friends from the Ironworks farewell, and see what can be done for Alphino back in Doma.
Probably not much. But hey, barrier works at least. Gaius is alive. Man, I'm still not sure how to feel about that. Well, he's not working for Garlemald directly anymore, at least. Not to mention anyone hounding the Ascians is good for us.
Alphino is safely ensconced in a private chamber. My finest healer is examining him as we speak.
And there he is. Your finest healer. Oh, no, Alice.
I've spoken with the physician, and there are no outward signs of illness. Alphino is lost in a sleep from which he cannot be awoken, just like the others. It seems that even the lands of the Empire were not far enough away to escape that cursed voice. I share your frustration, Alice, I do. But Alphino has returned to us alive and otherwise unharmed. All that remains is to find the means to wake him. Until then, you can but fulfill your duties as a scion. Yours and your brother's both. You're right, of course. There are arrangements to be made, and little time to make them. To business then, my lord. Now that we know Sirius War works as intended, can we expect reinforcements for Alamigo? You most certainly can. As promised, we will send troops to bolster our allies in Eorzea without delay. Pray be aware, however, that they will not arrive without delay. Save for some few who boast teleportation magics, the bulk of our force must be transported by sea, a lengthy voyage for which the smaller vessels favored by the Confederacy are ill-equipped. Accordingly, I mean to enlist the assistance of the East Aldenar Trading Company in finding suitable ships. As to navigating the distances in question, we are in the happy position of being able to call upon those who plotted the course of my people's exodus to Eorzea. Yep, that is true. Beyond the procurement of ships, I think it unlikely that our East Aldenar friends will consent to any involvement in military operations, but I am certain they will afford Alphino a berth aboard one of their vessels. I shall have a Kyogens accompany him every ilm of the way to the Rising Stones. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. Yugiri, I will go on ahead with our friends to Alamigo, enlist all those capable of teleportation, and put them at the disposal of the Eorzean Alliance as soon as possible. They will form the vanguard. Yes, my lord. This is exactly what we've hoped for. These and the Alliance leaders will be glad indeed to welcome our combined strength of the East.
Yeah, no kidding. At least we found Alphino. Meanwhile, at the Black Rose chemical plant, the one that was supposedly blown up.
Our supplies at Black Rose have been ruined, but the new plant is already under construction. We should have the first batch ready in time for the offensive, Your Radiance.
Shit.
See that you do.
Lovely. So we barely slowed them down at all.
Ah, yes, the infamous Black Rose. If I recall correctly, Gaius did not much care for the invention.
No kidding.
A ruthless and indiscriminate weapon indeed, this airborne poison. It seems you are capable of making decisions worthy of your bloodline.
With no gift for sorcery, we Garleans must look to Magitech to even the odds. If it spares the needless deaths of our soldiers and serves the cause of this empire, there is no method I would not employ.
Clearly there's no Geneva Convention in Eorzea.
How very noble of you.
Truly, though, I must commend you for embracing your role as Emperor. You play the part of the determined ruler well. Sometimes even I catch myself believing.
A silent agent of death. Now that I think on it, Black Rose may well possess the perfect aspect. Slowly but surely, the deluge of light has worked upon the ether here in the source, and the gas should be most susceptible to its influence.
Eh?
Well, I shall leave you to your own devices. Go forth and bloody the land with your grand and glorious war.
Yeah. Sounds lovely. Yeah, look at this guy.
While you do what, precisely?
Well, strut, obviously.
Need you ask? I will be doing what all Ascians do.
I am well aware that your kind exists only to usher in the next calamity. But you seem oblivious to the harm your singular agenda causes to the Empire. You cannot have forgotten the events which followed your mortal demise.
Our homeland was plunged into civil war for your failure to name a successor. The edifice you so carefully constructed was but a hair's breadth from collapse.
Hey, maybe he did it on purpose. You know, Chaosbringer and all that.
Are you truly so naive? You thought me oblivious to the consequences of a departure so painstakingly timed?
Oh shit, he did do it on purpose.
It was by design?
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course it was. Though I will admit the resulting panic exceeded even my wildest expectations. But how can you be surprised? Throwing the world into disarray was the very purpose for which this nation was, as you say, so carefully constructed. Now, if you have no further questions, I must be on my way.
Ugh. Smarmy son of a bitch.
Since we may not meet again in this lifetime, it would be remiss of me not to offer a word or two of gratitude.
Eh?
I really must thank you for this surplus of vessels. I can mold any host into my own image, but having bodies tailor-made for me in this fashion is so much less tiresome.
Ah, I was right. That's why he made them.
You dabbled in elegant cloning techniques, yes? It certainly is a compelling, not to mention entertaining, field of research.
You know, I'm half surprised he's not gonna say, I just cloned all these so I could enjoy killing you every few minutes.
And of all the options available, you chose the founding father on whom to experiment. You have a twisted streak to you, Varus, like grandsire, like grandson, hey? If events play out as planned, this will become something of a family enterprise. You will be the capstone of this world, I the anchor and shard, and together we will give the lie to this star's fraudulent existence.
Great. Evil villain laugh on exit. Well, that was interesting. And that's just how the quest ends. So Black Rose is back in play. Great. Parley on the front lines. Oh, this is gonna come to a head fast. We must leave now to convene with Eorzea's leaders, and it may be some time before I return to Doma. Hakudo, I leave you in command. My lord. I shall assemble an advance party with all haste and join you in Alamigo forthwith. I've just received word from Lys. The Alliance has established a base camp near Alamigo's northeastern border. Once we've arrived in the locks, we're to report to a resistance officer stationed in Porta Praetoria who will point us in the right direction. Let's not keep them waiting. Let's not. This is gonna be a thing. We're coming up on what I believe is the last dungeon here soon. Ah, you must be the Scion party I was told to look out for. If you'll follow me, I'll take you directly to Alliance headquarters. Yes, yes indeed. Oh man, you guys got set up in a hurry. There's Lys and Raubon. Any other leaders here yet?
Welcome back, you two. Greetings, Lord Heer. Glad you could join us.
Glad to be here. I would have come sooner, while our own defense is not in question, but I am pleased to report that our soldiers are assembling for deployment to Alamigo as we speak.
We're grateful for your support. Thanks to the efforts of our allies, it won't be long before we've established defensive positions on this front as well.
Good. Alright, we haven't told Lys about Alphino yet.
We have some good news too. Alphino has come back to us. As for the bad news,
Yep. He's out like the rest of them.
So, Alphino won't wake up, Gaius van Baelsar is alive and hunting Ascians, and the Empire is planning to poison us all with toxic gas. Does that sound about right?
Yep. And otherwise we're
Ordinarily,
boned.
any one of those things would have left me in shock. But the way things have been lately, it's all starting to seem pretty normal. Getting back to your report, are we sure this Black Rose is the weapon Maxima was talking about?
100%? No, but most likely.
It fits the description. And it seems we have Alphino to thank for sparing us an early demonstration of its effectiveness. I have a feeling this won't be the last time his bravery in the Empire will serve us here in Eorzea. The threat of an unknown weapon has had us all on edge. But now that we know what we're dealing with, we can take steps to defend against it.
Oh, we're gonna start inventing gas masks?
As for Gaius, I'm not sure what to think. Am I happy he's alive? Not in the slightest. Am I happy he's hunting Ascians? Aye, I'd have to say I am.
Oh, speaking of Garleans you didn't expect to see, we have a tale of our own, as it happens. When we sent envoys to the Imperial Army to request talks, they returned with the message that Varys Zos Galvus would be attending.
Whoa.
The Emperor himself. Well, Varys did sanction the Popularis peace mission. But knowing that an Ascian walks in his son's skin, I do not see how we can trust him or anyone from that nest of vipers.
The Alliance would proceed with negotiations regardless, if only to give ourselves more time to prepare. We do, however, require cooperation.
Eh?
Right. Yes. So, as a condition for the talks to go forward, the Empire has requested that a member of the Scions be present. There'll be a representative from each Alliance nation, of course, but I'm afraid we have to ask that you come along too.
Gods, Lise, you know how much I hate politics. But then, what choice do I have? Alphino and the others aren't going to do it.
Yeah, we're not gonna weekend at Bernie's Alphino in front of the damn Emperor. That would be ridiculous.
Very well. I shall attend as the Scions representative.
I assume I will be there as well. You know.
In case you're wondering why I didn't ask you, the Empire also requested the presence of Eorzea's champion.
Yeah, I'm basically your nuclear deterrent, so of course I'm gonna be there. I'll be there. I'm not fond of politics either, yeah.
Oh, you're not, are you? Come on, if Alize can put on a brave face, then so can you. Now, we don't know what Varys means to bring to the table, or why he wants you there, but having you close at hand should make all the difference.
Oh boy.
The meeting will take place on the border. Anticipating an early assault, we mean to position the bulk of our forces nearby.
Good call.
The Alliance leaders should already be on their way. Once you're ready, we can head out and join them.
This is gonna come to a head fast.